So Angel Reese getting a 4th place vote for WNBA MVP was incredibly dumb. Like, that is one of the weirdest votes I've seen. And like, the reason why people are like, we need to know who did this, is because just like the NBA, just like we all know who the person was that voted Domantas Sabonis 3rd for MVP, 3rd for Defensive Player of the Year, and all NBA first team. We all know who that crazy person was, and they should not have a vote again. We all know who what's his name? The guy from China that kept voting Steph Curry for his all defensive first team. And we all know, jeez, like, I can't believe I forgot his name off the top of my head, the dude who voted for LeBron over Carmelo Anthony. Like, in the NBA, we know who the guy was that voted for Derrick Rose MVP in 2011. We all know who, so not in 2011, geez, in 2021, 10 years after 2011, sorry. Like, we all know that some of these voters vote crazy. And Angel Reese being 4th is not... No, it is probably the worst of them all. But Dearica Hamby getting 2 5th place votes, wild. Absolutely wild. But at least she put up like 17 and 10. She got 5th place votes from I don't know who. I don't know who people who felt bad for the whole situation around her. It wasn't basketball reasons. She's a myth. She's a myth. Like, I've watched so much Hamby. She's not that good. Like, Dearica Hamby is a solid, as a good starter who just put up big numbers because she's on a bad team. But then you have got the 5th place for Kayla McBride, which I'm cool about. The 4th places for Arike is mental. She shot 35% from the field. Then you have the 3rd place for Kelsey Mitchell. I'm happy she got a 3rd place. I would have been like a couple of 5th place votes, fine, but a 3rd place vote, that means she is guaranteed to be better than Caitlin Clark. She's the best player on her team. She doesn't even score more than Caitlin Clark. Like, there are a lot of really bad picks. But obviously, the Angel Reese one is what is most crazy, because of all those players, no offense to Angel, she got a higher MVP vote than, and Dewana Bonner was a weird one as well, but she got a higher MVP vote, as in 4th place, than Hamby did. Hamby's better than Angel Reese. Again, I don't think by much, but Hamby's a little bit better than Angel Reese. She had a higher vote than her, and she got a higher vote than Kayla McBride, who I know people had on their freaking first team all WNBA. Heck, I would have voted for Alana Smith above Angel Reese. Like, Angel Reese is somewhere between 25 or 20. We counted out all the players, and I was like, she is somewhere between. I think you can't go any higher than 20, but you probably can't. She's probably somewhere between like 24 and like 30 in that range, which, by the way, is unbelievable for a rookie. But the 30th best player this season cannot get the 4th place vote. I'm sorry, you can't do that. You just can't do that. It would be like having June Caitlin Clark in your freaking MVP race. And not only that, she missed the last couple of games. The best abilities availability. Like, 4th in MVP voting. And the funniest part about this is that, if you guys don't know Robin Lundberg, so Robin Lundberg is he is a journalist, and he is one of the, again, journalists that is making YouTube videos. So he called out this whole situation and made an article, and he's been called every name under the sun. He's been called everything. Like, obviously, go take a look at his channel. He's probably a more he mainly makes Caitlin Clark content. Heck, he makes a higher percentage of Caitlin Clark content than I do. But he got called every single name you can possibly call somebody. Obviously, the usual when you saying the quote, Angel Reese is a very bad offensive player, or Angel Reese struggles with layups. If you say the quote, Angel Reese struggles with layups, you are either a racist or you are the last if you are a certain race, and if you're another race, you are the last half of the animal of a raccoon. If you simply state she struggles with layups, or Angel Reese is not a good 3-point shooter. I got called out for saying Angel Reese is not a good 3-point shooter. Because she made 2 at one time against Seattle. She made 3 3-pointers this season. Like, Caitlin Clark has made more than that in a quarter against the Mystics in June. Like, that was before the Olympics team was announced. She made more than that in a freaking quarter in one game. Obviously, a quarter in one game. A quarter is part of a game. But let's look at this article. So this article right here caused everyone to go into a freaking uproar. Like, the amount of names that this guy was called. And thankfully, he seems to be at least able to kind of ignore this, because if you think some of the abuse that these WNBA players are getting from quote unquote Caitlyn fans, oh no, the Reese fans are worse. No, I'm not going to say they're worse. I'm just going to say they're as vicious. They're as vicious. And again, thankfully, even if I make this video looking at the comment section, I know there's going to be a lot of people attacking me. But the reality of this is, heck, I got called out earlier today, ironically, for not... I'm no word of a lie. When I was talking about the Dejanay Carton situation, I got told the defender that did not allow Ty Harris to land on a jump shot should be suspended for taking her out for the series. Ty Harris was playing defense. Lexi Hull just took a jump shot. Ty Harris jumped forward, fouled Lexi Hull, landed on Lexi Hull, and fell to the ground. She got injured fouling somebody. And apparently I'm being called out for that. But that is, I will say, that's just one of those things where it's like, you're going to get called out for anything. You're going to get called out for everything. And it is mad that, people are being like, oh, why is everyone just picking on Angel Reese for finishing 4th in MVP vote? Man, do we not, watch the NBA? Do these people watch basketball? Do these people not know? Again, the man having to do a press tour to defend his LeBron James not being MVP vote. The guy who voted Domantas Sabonis 3rd for MVP. Everyone knew who that guy was. Every single one. Heck, the guy that voted for the wrong Jalen Williams. Or the guy this year that voted for the wrong Bogdanovich. He voted for Bojan Bogdanovich for 6th man of the year, who only came 10 games, off the bench for 10 games. He voted for Bojan instead of Bogdan for 6th man of the year. We look at this, every time people see in the NBA, they see a crazy thing, they're like, man, who voted this? Who voted the wrong Jalen Williams? I don't think it actually was the wrong Jalen Williams, but when it came out, everyone's like, someone voted the wrong Jalen Williams, because Jalen Williams, Jaylin Williams, had one vote for the all-rookie first team, and one person didn't vote Jalen Williams. And heck, Kendrick Perkins leaving Brandon Miller off his all-rookie team. And Mark Jackson leaving Jokic off his MVP ballot. All of this stuff happens in sports, but people make this out this, that you have to be a certain driving word followed by ist if you are calling out Angel Reese for the exact same thing. The reality of this is that people want... I don't like using this term, but funnily enough, people respect people that are these WNBA fans and want and are all about WNBA. They don't respect the league like it's a sports league. The reality of this is the vast majority of the new fans, and I'm not talking about the Twitter trolls, I'm not talking about the toxic fandom that comes with literally every sport. I'm talking about the people that are watching this. The vast majority of the people that are watching the games, in that million that are watching the games, are NBA fans that moved over because they like watching the Fever. They enjoy watching women's basketball. A lot of those fans, again, know other players. They like watching teams play. But the reality is that, I'm sorry, treating the WNBA in the exact same way as you would treat the NBA, whether that be players, whether that be coaches, whether that be just discourse around it, is the biggest way you can respect the WNBA. Being coddling players, and at the end of the day, look, these players are real humans too. But just like what the NBA players, they do, delete the X app. Delete the freaking X app. That big X there, that should mean a no-go. Don't go onto this app. I'm sorry, I'm looking at WNBA players. I'm looking at I think one of the most toxic accounts on Twitter, or X, whatever the hell it's called now, got followed by Enrique because she posted something positive. These WNBA players, if someone posts something positive about them, are suddenly following fans. No, stop following fans. Stop interacting with fans. Stop jumping in Twitter spaces. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with this league, but the reality is that the basketball for some teams is pretty good. The Liberty play great basketball. The Lynx play great basketball. Depending on the team they come up against, the Mercury play great basketball. The Aces, I don't agree. I don't like how they play basketball. The Fever play great basketball. The Wings play great basketball. I like how the Mystics play basketball. So there are really good teams. There are teams that are their tactic is drag you down to their level, as in Chicago Sky, Connecticut Sun. One team obviously does that a lot better than the other, but that was kind of their goal, grit and grind, drag you down. You can have the occasional team like that. But the actual basketball is good. But the reality of it is that you got to talk about the basketball. I'm just trying to think of who is an equivalent in the NBA as far as players are concerned. Obviously, our stats are identical to Jalen Duren's. But Jalen Duren's not like the 30th best player in the NBA. It would be like... Who was a good rebounding starting center in the NBA? I don't know. Like, I wouldn't go Daniel Gafford. She's better than the equivalent of Daniel Gafford. I'm trying to think of like good teams. Or even like bad teams. No, obviously not Wemby. I don't even know. Let's just say... it would be like, let's just say in 2019 or something, saying Andre Drummond was 4th on your MVP voting. You would be ridiculed. You would be laughed out of the building if you put Andre Drummond back then in your MVP voting. And you would make, like, every single person would be clowning you on Twitter. The reality of this is that these players should be, in a way, protected when it comes to personal attacks. But I'm sorry, like, the person who shouldn't be protected is the person that just wasted their vote on this crap. And just like the multiple people that are going to vote Angel Reese above Caitlin Clark for Rookie of the Year need to be named and shamed. The reality of it is, if you are going to not vote based on the sport and you're going to vote based on your feelings, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if the person who voted Angel Reese 4th voted Kelsey Mitchell 3rd and voted Hamby 5th. Like, it would not surprise me to see Aja, Fee, Kelsey Mitchell, Reese, Hamby. Like, we're not going to know. But for all we know, that could have been the 5. And like, if someone does that, they're taking the piss. And they shouldn't be allowed to vote again. That's the reality of it all. And like, this guy getting abuse. And like, the reality of it all is that he's being told, oh, the only time you ever get any engagement is when you talk about Angel. Man, like, that's the dumbest thing ever. That is the dumbest thing ever. I get most engagement talking about Cheryl Swoops. Like, that if we want to talk about engagement, we get more engagement talking about ESPN's bullshit, Cheryl Swoops, all the nonsense that goes around this. Caitlyn brings 100 times more engagement than Angel. But, like, still the most engagement you actually get is not actually related to basketball. It's for all the drama crap that goes on outside, if we're being 100% honest. But anyway, yeah, that is the video. Go check out his channel. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.